Hello, everyone. Travis here at the CLG Camp tournament, joined by, well, a ghost of some sorts, HotshotGG. Hotshot, how's your 2014 going so far?
My 2014 is going great right now.
Because it sounds like there's a chance you're going to return to the jungle. Is that true?
That is probably not true. As for, people returning, it's kind of up in the air. We're not 100% sure what we're going to do about that since, Dexter can't come for a while, but he'll be back for sure.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and just dive into that. We'll talk about the CLG Camp in a second, but I'm sure everyone wants to know about the Dexter situation. So I was hoping you could kind of clarify some stuff because obviously the statement that was made was somewhat limited while you guys were figuring stuff out. So what exactly happened with Dexter? Do you have any insight as to why he was turned away?
So, let me preface this. Well, we talked to the visa lawyer that did all the player visas and kind of like made he's basically the riot visa lawyer. And he had the same visa coming in as Lemon Dogs did when he came for Worlds. Yeah. And so, we had all the steps and precautions. We told him what to say, what not to say, and, just something along the lines messed up. And, like, a lot of the comments that, I was seeing on Reddit, like, why didn't CLG contract him? That wouldn't have resolved the issue in any way. He wasn't allowed to come in due to a visa issue, and if he was contracted by CLG, he still needs a work visa, and work visas take time. You can't just pop a work visa like that. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now, and hopefully it'll be done soon.
So do you think it was just a mix-up on the U.S. government side, like the visa side? Like everything was in order?
I mean, like, the U.S. government can kind of, like, pick and choose, like, who they want to let through. It's, like, at their discretion. So, I guess they flagged Dexter for whatever reason. And at that point, they kind of identified that he was coming into the U.S. to play League of Legends. And at that point, I guess they said you need a work visa for that.
Interesting. Okay, so he has this issue. So what steps are you guys taking now?
Oh, yeah. So we went straight to the lawyer right after. Like, we really, really want Dexter to play. And so went straight to the lawyer, and the lawyer said that he's working on the visa for Dexter, and we'll have that ASAP. So
a lot of people were like, why is it that CLG still doesn't have him under contract? LCS is starting in about 2 weeks or whatever. What was the case? Like, why isn't he under contract? Why is he still in tryout period? Are you guys maybe not thinking about using him, or what's happening there?
So, like, within the first week or two, it's kind of like abnormal to sign a contract instantly without even, like, feeling out a player and that sort of thing. And regardless, that still wouldn't have solved the visa issue. Like, we had a verbal agreement between, like, CLG and Dexter. Like, this was going down. The contract really has no bearing on any of this. It's just visa, visa, visa. If you're an international, person, you need a visa to work.
So at this point, though, what's the or is he still in the tryout period? Like, what's happening with Dexter?
No, Dexter is on CLG, and we love him, and he's a great jungler, and he's helping everyone, and we look forward to having him back as soon as possible.
Okay, so contract hasn't been signed yet, but he should be on the team starting soon.
Yeah, of course.
So does that mean negotiations?
I'm like, Kelby is the one that does that stuff, so he may already have the contract done, or negotiations might have been settled. But that, again, it's not a really big deal. We want Dexter. Dexter wants us.
Okay, cool.
The middle ground doesn't really matter right now.
So for people looking, it sounds like Dexter should be joining soon. Dexter fans can rejoice as long as he gets in. So you hinted a little bit. You guys are trying to figure out what to do. Do you have any insight into what the chances are? Like, is it most likely that Dexter won't be here for the first week of LCS, or what's the status there?
So first week of LCS, Dexter won't probably be here. Second week, I think he'll be here. And so it's just CLG has to go through the first week with substitution. And so, like, we're thinking about our options. I was considering potentially trying to contact Prawley, but you know, he's kind of getting into his new team, and we don't even know if he'll be available or even if the team really wants that. It's there's Chauster. Chauster's been practicing a lot. Gigi's been practicing a lot. I've been practicing a lot, and it's just up to the team's discretion, whatever they feel is more comfortable.
Any other challenger folks that you're looking at? Obviously, you've got the LMQ guys here. Double Lift from Shanghai. Quite very clearly an expert in Chinese languages. So any chance of like an LMQ jungler or any other challenger junglers?
So the LMQ guys are very talented, but the language barrier, like Double Lift doesn't actually speak Chinese well, or even to the point where he'd probably be able to communicate. So, like, we have no way of being like, hey, this is our plan. So that's kind of hard to bring in a foreign player and just be like, yeah.
You don't want to do like the pings? You could just ping.
I mean, like, what about like strategies, like explaining strategies? You'd have to like draw the champion and be like, damn.
You just ping a lot. That's all you need to do. You just get him. You're like you point and tell him to lock something in, and then you just ping and then you get in game. Yeah.
You kind of like draw a picture with pings.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Well, if you use them, I get a cut of the winnings. I think that's how it works. So, all right. I'm trying to think if there's any other Dexter stuff to discuss. So it sounds like negotiations either wrapping up or just about done. He's going to be headed over as soon as the visa stuff can get sorted. And in the meantime, you guys trying to figure out who you want. So hopefully community satisfied with all those answers for the time being. What do you think CLG's chances are the first week, using a sub?
We have the easier spectrum of teams on the first week, minus Cloud9. We have Cloud9, we have Curse, and we have Dig, is it? So
I think and one more, but I forget who.
Yeah, I forget the last one. I need to check up on that again. But we have an easier like spectrum of players, so it might not be like that bad. I think we'd go 1 and 2, but we could pull out a 3-0.
Okay.
So it's up to the team to pick whoever they feel is best.
So let's talk about what you've been up to lately. What have you been up to? Because a lot of people ask, what's HotShot doing? A lot of people have ideas that you're secretly running the team, like from a very high level, that you're out learning all sorts of crazy secrets, that you just spent all day solo queuing. What is happening in the life of George Elitas?
I think it's like a lot of everything. I have an obligation to myself to stay relevant in terms of skill. I don't have to be in the spotlight. Like, that doesn't have to be my thing. But as long as I can keep up with, some of these guys, like the challenger level players, and the tourney level players, then I'm content with myself. And, to do that, I still have to play a lot, and that's why you see me in solo queue a lot. As for, like, coaching and stuff like that, the team was kind of, like, feeling out what they wanted, like, if they wanted me to coach and that sort of thing. And coming into this season, we're going to have me coaching full-time. So this is going to be a huge change to CLG. And not only that, I'll probably be doing most of their strategies. I'll be getting them to think like me. And when you're playing a game, they had to substitute me in because, Dexter last minute couldn't attend one of our scrims. And when I got into game, I started realizing that I was making a lot of mistakes that I, criticized them for. Yeah. And so I'm going to try to get them to think like an observer would, like a spectator would, just watching them. And I want them to really, think at a high level. A lot of players and a lot of teams, they think instinctually. They actually, they just play by making the same mistakes over and over again and kind of adapting that way. Whereas you should really use your brain when you play. And it sounds ridiculous to say that, but a lot of people don't use their brain.
Yeah. They just sort of respond instinctually to stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of like a primitive way of learning, but everybody seems to learn that way. No one really watches their replays, even in solo queue after they lose. No one really thinks about why they lost. And when people are in game, they don't think, is this a bad decision? They're like, it's probably not a bad decision. Like, just this instinct. I have a gut feeling it's pretty good. Yeah.
So a lot of people will wonder what your relationship with the team is going to be in comparison to Monte Cristo's, because obviously you're going to be doing a lot of coaching, a lot of interaction. You said trying to use sort of your strategies even. Where does Monte Cristo fit into that picture then?
So Monty is like the best when it comes to explaining to the team how a team should function. Like his understanding when it comes to how a team should be run and how they should treat each other, everything down to practice regimes. I'm here for the kind of like analytical side and the pro player. I know what you're thinking. Don't try to pull that with me. But Monty's like kind of like the iron fist. Like if I have something, I'll go to Monty and Monty will make sure it happens. Like I'm not as aggressive as a person, and I'm not as I'm not as much of an authority figure. So Monty is like the guy to go to.
Speaking about being an aggressive person, you play a lot of LeBlanc. You've gotten known for your LeBlanc play. Do you think that you're the best LeBlanc in the world right now?
At this point, no, because I stopped playing her. But I think if I played like another 50 games with her, I'd be up there.
Were you before you stopped playing her?
I mean, like I think I would be arguably like on the level of Faker. He's a really good LeBlanc, and that's actually how I learned to play her at first. Is I just watched the limited Faker VODs that I had, and I just watched it to the T.
So then you picked up the LeBlanc. What are you playing now? What are you up to in solo queue these days?
So I've been playing a lot of Xerath, and I don't want him to get reworked because I'm having a lot of fun with him right now. But reworks took a long time, and I know they pulled the last Xerath rework out of the PBE. So I think it's going to be a while before they touch him. So I'm just enjoying him right now. There was a time in early season 2, I believe, where everyone was spamming Xerath, and they didn't change anything about Xerath, and he was considered to be broken as F, and then people just stopped playing Xerath. So right now in solo queue, what ends up happening is if we make it to late game, or if I make it to late game and I have like a few kills, then I just 1v5 the whole team.
So Xerath is the secret OP right now?
Yes and no. If you can get through laning phase, he is OP. But if you cannot get him through the laning phase, which is really hard to, then he'll just fall flat on his face.
So speaking about your solo queue antics, there was some drama around Battle of the Atlantic. Dyrus made some statements about CLG, and then later on it turned out that to some extent they were motivated. The statements were motivated by interactions that members of TSM had with you in solo queue. This was also around the same time that you came out and you said that North American solo queue is part of what is holding back the scene from being competitive. I'd love if you could just sort of elaborate on maybe the TSM situation, maybe also what your thoughts are on North American solo queue and how it's affecting the scene as a whole.
Yeah, I think the way... First of all, I'll preface this with saying what Dyrus got upset about was me talking bad about someone on XDG. And for those of you who don't know, XDG is practically my family. Like these guys grew up on CLG. They're CLG Black, most of them. So he said that I was like bad-mouthing XDG or something like that. And that was completely untrue. And I guess he heard from someone that happened, and he got upset, and so that's why that statement came out. So it was really weird. And then, so I talked to XCG, and then they actually released a statement. Well, Benny released a statement. He's like, "What the hell? Everything is cool with Hotshot. Like, he's practically our family. And then, as for the solo queue thing, I truly do believe that. And even right now, it's hard for me to look at solo queue as a excellent training utility because people don't care. Like, people just troll, and it's gone a little better now that the season's got rolling again, and pro players are starting to take it more seriously. I feel that when I see all the pro players queuing, they try to beat each other. Like, it's not kitty time anymore. It's not troll time. So I feel that everybody's getting a lot better, but there's still progress needing to be made. Like I dream about going to Korea and just playing solo queue in Korea. If that was feasible, like financially, and just like I'd be in Korea all day, just playing solo queue.
So if there's any fans or any organizations out there that would finance a HotshotGG trip to the Mecca of Korea to come back and be Faker level, would you like them to contact you?
Yes, that would be great. I actually had this like dream in the shower. This is really weird, by the way.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
So I actually had a daydream about going to like every region and trying to get challenger in every region, and then like I got giddy when I was like, oh, I can get challenger in Korea.
And that would Korea be like the final one? Like you build up, like you get challenger in NA, then go to EU.
Yeah. So I got challenger in NA down. I got to take a trip to EU for like a couple weeks, and then trip to the other regions.
So you were in the shower, you started dreaming about being good, and then you said you got giddy.
Yeah, I got a little hot.
In the shower. HotshotGG getting giddy, hot and bothered in the shower.
You totally baited that. You totally baited that.
So let's talk about the team going into this next split. You guys obviously, sounds like you're going to have Dexter on. Aframu, I think at this point in time, seems to be on the team. And, you got your three other dudes, the staples. Where do you think CLG is going to be fitting in? I mean, actually, we just heard recently Elimination made comments that TSM, he feels they're stronger than Cloud9 right now. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of stuff right at the start of the season. But where do you think CLG is going to be? Because oftentimes CLG has been this third, fourth, even sometimes fifth place team. Do you think that you guys are going to be able to start cracking into the top two?
I honestly think that if I can get them to think like I do when it comes to objective control and just like knowing what to pick and what to play, then I think CLG can easily be a top two team. But the problem lies in getting that mentality through and just punching that mentality through. They have to think like me as if I were there, because being a player and having your own opinions, they're good at times, but a lot of players are selfish and they only think about themselves. They don't think about the overall goal. They don't think about the team. I see it as it is because I'm the guy in the back just watching. And there's a lot to, take into consideration, not only yourself.
So I know you said punch it into them. Does that mean that you're going to be having some very aggressive and maybe even physical training sessions with these guys?
Well, like sometimes we're like having conversations on Skype and I hear like clicking on Skype and like people aren't paying attention. And Monty's like, the second I get over there, I'm going to slap each and every one of you in the head every time I see you like on Skype during a team conversation. Like, that's what Monty's there for. I'm not the guy that's like, but Monty's going to be like there with the paddle. He's going to be like, double it, bam, bam. Yeah. So.
But not on the hands, because they need those.
Yeah, not on the hands, just the head.
Just the head, because they definitely don't need those. I mean, Double Lift doesn't even use it, so. Other than that, how's CLG, maybe even as the organization, the company, the business, looking going into 2014? You guys have you want to expand? A lot of people picking up Smite teams lately. Anything on the horizon that's kind of exciting for CLG that you can hint at or talk about or anything like that?
So CLG as an organization is actually doing extremely well right now. We're looking to expand, but we're trying to find the right fits. In the past, it was kind of like a financial constraint when it came to can I pick up this team or can I pick up that team. Now it's just we're a little bit better, and we only look for winning teams, and we only look for really good teams. So that's what we're looking for right now. Kelby's actually he's been scouting a lot of teams from different games, and he's just slightly late on the punch sometimes, but he's really good at scouting them. So
okay, a lot of people. I should address this with you because a lot of people on Reddit recently have been, and on Twitter elsewhere, have been very critical of CLG management, mostly referring to Kelby or Seocean, and obviously he's a friend of mine, but I'd love to sort of get your feeling on him as essentially his boss on his performance. Like, could you give us a performance review of one Kelby May right now?
Yes, Kelby May is probably, like, from what I see from all the managers and all of the people kind of like in the industry, out of the managers, I think Kelby is the best, if not like one of the best. So he's done a lot for CLG, and CLG would not be at its position right now. Like, this tournament probably wouldn't have been happening without Kelby, and CLG Camp wouldn't have been happening. A lot of things wouldn't have been happening. Kelby takes a lot of time and effort to respond to everyone, to take care of everyone. It's just, when it comes to Reddit, and I'm going to call it Reddit because it's kind of like, the vocal minority always gets upvoted to the top, right? And then, like, say I posted something like, in this article, it'll be like, Travis's interviewing was really bad today. Like, that's the first thing that gets upvoted. It's going to be up there today. It's going to be up there at the very top, and then that'll become the public opinion. It's really, I don't know. People don't really think for themselves. They just follow the train. And I actually see a lot of comments. I actually gave gold to some of the people that can kind of like read between the lines and like figure things out, and not just be like, this guy's stupid, or this guy sucks at casting, or, like, just use your brain. Don't always think about other people, and then don't always think of the top comment, and then maybe we'll have better discussions on Reddit.
Maybe some gold from HotshotGG. All right, very good. Anything that you want to say here at the end? Any shout-outs? Anything you want to say to all the CLG fans, especially as we move into 2014?
Yeah, thank you for supporting us, guys, as always, and I hope to make you guys proud this season. And also, do keep supporting us and check out our streams. We really appreciate that, and look for us to be streaming a lot more later in February.
Very good. Thank you so much for the interview, Hotshot. It's been too long. It's fun to see you surface every now and then. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all of the events and everything leading up to the start of the LCS in just about a week or so at ongamers.com.
Hey, this is HotshotGG, and I'd like to thank our sponsors, Azubu TV, Razer, iBuyPower, and NZXT.